In 2015, I had a friend who said, hey, I want to go to the Believe Ball. And I was new actually to the area and had no idea what the Believe Ball was. I looked up Cure Childhood Cancer, and it was a natural fit for us.
I think I'd introduced to Cure probably close to 10 years ago through Steph, where she asked me to start sponsoring a table at the Cure Ball.
Steve Fisher came into my office, and I said, hey, I'm looking to sponsor a table at the Believe Ball. He probably didn't know that he was going to leave $5,000 less in his pocket from that moment, but that was really the start of it.
She's very passionate, very infectious in her ways.
And that night, we actually said, we're coming back. But Steve said, let's sit a little closer next year. And so then we did it again the following year and every year since. It was our second year at the Believe Ball, and I leaned over to Steve and said, I want to be on this board. Kristen must have thought the same thing, because then I was approached and asked if I wanted to be on the board. And from there, it took off. You probably couldn't keep me quiet in the room. I get excited about what are different things that we can do to, get the word out. I would challenge the other, people who are there with other companies. How can you actually do more from that standpoint? And now on the advisory board, I'm able to even provide more insight. Maybe get a little bit over involved, but it's one that I really enjoy talking about, and it's good to be with people who, have the same purpose.
I think what resonates when it comes to the mission of Cure is the fact that we are talking about childhood cancer. Now think about this. Having cancer at any stage, at any age is bad. But talking of childhood cancer, if you are able to help one child, you don't know what that child will become. That child could be the one who changes the world.
She's done so much, and she's more than willing to keep going and donate forever if she could. I've never been more proud of my mom because of that.
Cure is so well-deserving. I believe that we're all blessed with resources, whether that be financial resources, whether that be our talent, whether that be our time, your talent, and your treasure.
I challenge everyone in the room to be able to come up and say, what is one thing that you can actually bring to Cure that you yourself have as a strength that then you think they can be able to gain from? That's what you can give back to Cure. Don't assume that they have all those resources that are available.
Steph has a heart of gold. She has shared with me that she came from tough beginnings, and I think she absolutely realizes that she has been so successful in her personal and professional life and feels the genuine desire to give back in any way she can.
She's very purpose-driven, very competitive. She's somebody who competes with a purpose. And her work with Cure is exactly that. And her generosity rubbed upon a lot of people in our leadership team in the company. We have a critical mass of willing donors, passionate donors in Novelis, and that is because of what Steph did, what she started.
I think team competition is the way we can come together for one common goal. So we have a common goal it's a win-win.
Steph is very competitive. I first heard about Cure through the T-shirt challenge at Novelis, and knowing Steph's competitive spirit, she just had to win.
How we created the T-shirt challenge is not any big brainstorm. I saw an email come through, and it was about the T-shirt that was Live, Love, Cure. And I was like, oh, I really like that T-shirt. So I'm gonna buy one for myself, my husband, the kids, their girlfriends. I should get some for my team, right? And so then and then I said, I'm gonna create a competition with PwC. And I said, we think we can actually buy more T-shirts than you can buy T-shirts. And so then we said, this is what we're gonna do. And they agreed to that competition. And so that first year was just PwC and Novelis. People then started to see more and more, what does Cure mean to the organization?
I think as a leader, she drives things that she's very passionate about herself. And so her competitive spirit to her ability to connect with people at a different level, to bring people to this great organization in Cure is just remarkable.
There are 17,000 children who every year get inflicted with childhood cancer. Multiply that by the parents, the grandparents, the siblings, and the friends who suffer with that. We are talking about the suffering behind that going across to more than 100,000 people. How do we bring that 17,000 to zero? That should be the question.
She has such a heart for giving back. She is just a fierce defender of people that come her way.
She led by example. You cannot talk one way and walk another way, and that's not what she did. It inspires when you see somebody becoming a part of a mission which is as noble as this. It makes you ask the question, what are you doing? Why are you not part of that?
I've always looked up to my parents, especially my mom. I don't think she ever really takes her foot off the gas most of the time, so she's someone to look up to.
I'd like to thank her directly from the bottom of my heart, from myself, my wife, for getting us involved in such a great organization, great purpose, and continue to do that, bring other people along. But it's been absolutely a joy to be with her in this journey.
What she did was driven by a belief that doing this is the right thing to do. She's not somebody who looks for recognition in the way that most people do, be awarded, be called on the stage, be applauded. So for that very reason, that she has done it so selflessly is why I think that she deserves the award.
My wish is for us to be able to have the funding that we need for every research that we want to be able to pursue. When I see other families and the fact that they're fighting for basically their livelihood, their own children, their siblings, that right there, it makes me feel like I want to help. I don't want to sit on the sidelines. Cure gives me the way to turn my empathy into action.